This video will be weird, not the regular nerdy stuff.
Yvonne, your videos are always weird.
It's gonna be a few funny stories with common agenda. So get yourself comfortable, popcorn, beer, and let's go. I hope you will enjoy it. I can't get myself comfortable, there are like bird traces here. But first, let me call to my story expert.
So you've come for the story of the hedgehog who lived in the forest. He learned to breathe from his ass. He became popular and celebrated. And one night, he sat on a log. He suffocated to death.
This guy is weird. I should have called Chris Thomas instead. By the way, sorry for the audio, I am not at home. Just walking down the street, talking with the camera, looking all weird. For the first story, let's play the game. You know this guy, but I'm not gonna tell his name until the end of this story. And you let me down in the comments if you guessed him correctly. Back in the days of Betaflight 3.5, this guy was quite experienced with PID tuning. And he tuned one of his quads as he liked, and he copied this tune on all his other quads, because, well, that's a smart thing to do, right? Also, this guy was thinking he's quite smart because he was using special stick command to calibrate his gyro before he puts his quad in the air. He was doing all that for like a year or even more. The little he knew that this fancy stick command he was using was not calibrating gyro. Instead, it was just switching PID profile from 1 to 2. So for the entire year or maybe more, he was just flying defaults on Betaflight, winning local races, podium and stuff. It's funny that he didn't even suspect that something is wrong with his tuning. Who do you think was that, I'm kinda embarrassed to say that, but that was me. The second story is about a very cool guy, Mr. Sam, Night Spot Ambassador, and I have a full permission from him to share it. By the way, Mr. Sam is a pretty experienced racer. I think every year he qualifies at least top 20% in the world. So one night, a group of racers, us, decided to race 50% throttle limit for everyone, so that everyone is slow. You probably know that on 6S, 50% throttle limit, your quad sounds more like so the race starts and I can hear all of the quads are like but one quad is like and I was like, well, maybe someone flying weird props or like he banned the prop or something like this. During the next round I still can hear and then, well, we started investigating what's happening. So apparently it was Sam's quad and he was swearing that he has throttle limit. So everyone tuned their goggles on Mr. Sam's channel just to check. Mr. Sam opened Betaflight OSD menu and showed, look, this is 50% throttle limit. I told you, it says 50%. But Mr. Neil was like, Sam, but it says off. It's 50%, but it's off. And Mr. Sam was like, damn, but it felt so smooth. And this sort of became a local meme with his intonation. The next story. One guy was testing a weird motor size, like a new motors, GTS V3, I think, 2107.5 or something like this. The fear was that maybe these motors are not powerful enough, so he built one quad with these motors. Fresh build, brand new, fresh flash, everything good. I remember as it was today, like his first reaction was like, holy crap, these motors are so good, they feel so aggressive, they corner way better. He even said that he might even relearn how to fly his drone from that point. So it sounded pretty exciting. By the way, this guy always flying default race, just like I am, because default rates are good. Little he knew, the day before, Betaflight developers changed the default rates in the development build. So whatever his feelings are, he was just flying different rates, and who do you think was that? Yeah, your noob Betaflight developer. That was me. And I realized all that only in the evening, after I bought 25 more of these motors.
What a fucking noob!
So guys, be critical to yourself, especially to your feelings, because correlation is not necessarily a causation. That's what clever people say anyways. And that's why we have black box, we have set point tracking and all these clever words. You know, time to time I do a little bit of Betaflight user support on Facebook, Discord, and every year I find it pretty funny that every summer there are just more users about complaining hot motors. Usually there are fast racers that are pushing their limits, probably running Minchon tune, and they're like, why my motors are hot? Like, it's probably something wrong with Betaflight. Of course it's good to check the black box, but also think about that. You're running crazy high KV on 6S. It's hot outside, and your motors will be hot, even if you spin them without even PID loop. Another funny example, I see a lot of people and my friends are flashing Betaflight 4.4 and some of them are like, oh, Now my quad flies like garbage. 4.3 was so much better. And when I tried to work with these guys to figure out maybe there's a Betaflight bug or something, apparently besides flashing 4.4, they also changed a bunch of other stuff like new motors, new props, new frame. But for some people, sometimes for whatever reason, it's just easier to blame Betaflight for all their troubles. And I'm guilty with that too. Sometimes I build a new drone, for some reason it flies like garbage. I don't record black box because I think I'm so smart, and then I go to Betaflight developers and I'm like, hey, what is happening? And they're like, did you record a black box? And when I do, I just see that it's like a bad gyro or bad board, or I have a bad motor or something like this. And of course, sometimes Betaflight has bugs that are affecting flight performance, but it's very, very rare, and we need to be very critical to ourselves. Like, what exactly did you change? Are you sure it's the only one thing you changed? Did you try to change it back? Did you try to flash the previous version? Did you record black box? I hate feet covered with sand. Another related funny story, and we're not going to call out Joe Mama's name, so we're gonna call him Anonymous. So Mr. Anonymous flashed a new version of Betaflight and burned his ESC. Human's brain sees correlation. I just flashed and I burned, and the conclusion is, of course, I burned it because of Betaflight. Luckily for us, or maybe unfortunately, Betaflight doesn't have control of burning or not burning your ESC. There is no D-shot command like burn your shit. It doesn't exist. Betaflight just sends the motor commands from 0 to 100, and the worst thing that can happen is if Betaflight sends commands like 0, 100, 0, 100. So if there's a bug like these, but then I would imagine like your motors will burn out first. In these cases, it's most likely, I don't know, like wobbly frame or wrong filter settings. Hope you guys always keep that in mind, that we are dealing with hobby-grade electronics. But I promise, no more grumping from me today. I am done. I hope you enjoyed this video, so stay critical to yourself and
Like and subscribe.
I promise, next video gonna be way more nerdy, if I'm not lazy, so see you there. By the way, check my Patreon.
You can see the writing on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
It's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like,
I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it.
what keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.